Hello! This week we will be learning how to say hello and goodbye in Spanish. Are you ready? To say hello in Spanish, you simply say hola.
Before we get into our book of the day, here is another Dear God question and answer from author Annie Fitzgerald. Thanks for making me special. Dear God, what do you think? God takes one good look at you and remembers the day He made your fingers and toes, chose your height and your hair color, put in your own little personality, and smiled at the you He had created. If you had put that much thought and love into something you had made, wouldn't you think it was extra special? That's how God feels about you. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Psalm 17:8.
Hi! My nickname is Peppy, but when I was a little girl, my friends called me Pappy. I was always happy, and I guess they thought my hair was nappy, in spite of my mom putting perms and curl kits in my hair. So I am happy, Pappy. I'm still happy, I'm still Pappy, and yes, my hair is natural, so I guess it's nappy. After all these years, I have learned to love my hair. After having put perms in my hair myself, after I was grown, wearing wigs and weave, I have learned to love me and my hair. As a matter of fact, I am on a hair journey to grow my hair as long as it will grow down my back this year in 2020. And if you're interested in my hair journey, tune in to my Kung Fu Fighter YouTube channel. That video is coming soon. I have learned to love my hair and to appreciate what God has given me. I can straighten it and it look like I have a perm. I can braid it, I can twist it, I can plait it. I can put it in updos, buns, all kind of different variation and styles. So that's what I love the most about my hair. So I am happy, Pappy, and I am happy to be nappy. Are you happy about your hair? And that leads to our story for today. Happy to be nappy.
Happy to be nappy. Bell hooks, Chris Rashka. Girly pie hair smells clean and sweet. It's soft like cotton, flower petal, billowy soft, full of frizz and fuzz. A halo, a crown, a covering for heads that are round. It can be smooth or patted down, pulled tight, cut close. Or just let go so wind can carry it all over the place. Hair to comb, hair to brush, to twist and plait, or just lie flat. Hair for hands to touch and play. Hair to take the gloom away. Sitting still for hands to brush or braid and make the day start hopefully. All kinks gone, all heads of joy. These short tight naps or plaited strands all let girls go running free. Happy to be nappy. Happy with hair all short and strong. Happy with locks that twist and curl. Just all girl happy. Happy to be nappy hair. After reading this book, I decided to give out basic understanding about African American hair, to which I discovered is literally more than meets the eye. meaning it's not so simple. You see, the first couple of things I thought were obvious or well known is that natural hair means not permanently chemically altered, and that African American hair needs a lot of moisture. And a lack of it can contribute to damage and hard to manage hair, which led me to the misconception of what good hair among a lot of African Americans is or has been perceived to be. That led me to the fact that African Americans have been discriminated against, even fired, sent home from school, and targeted for wearing protective styles and various hairdos. By the way, billions of dollars are being made from the black hair care industry. Hairstyle and hair type are two different things. A hair shaft consists of 3 layers, but some people only have 2. There is the cuticle, cortex, and in some people, medulla. I first heard that my hair has a medulla from a black lady. She stated it's something that can be seen under a microscope. That would be a nice science project if true. One thing I found very interesting is that a strand of hair can reveal mineral deficiencies, heavy metal toxicity, and the causes of many health symptoms and disease, even DNA. And just when I thought that was enough basic hair information, I found it true. The more I learn, the more there is to know. These days, soaring popularity of ancestry testing is now widely affordable for about $100. Then the information really became enlightening. Race versus ancestry. Unlike race, typically based on physical features and culture, language, history, religion, and socio-economic status, the concept of ancestry focuses on the process by which a person's history unfolded, or genetics. In the next slides, you will find information that contrasts and maybe compare race and ancestry and people that have contributed to the information. This has been a daunting task, just trying to provide basic hair information, but I have learned a lot. Most importantly, that geneticists have found all non-Africans' roots are from Africa. Have you ever found out that something that you believed to be true for many, many years just wasn't true? Well, that goes to show sometimes the more you learn, the more there is to learn. Visit this website to find out what may have been taught years ago that may not be true. And now for a little information about Mother Africa. Civil rights and mass movement. In 1910, Du Bois was working with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. The multiracial group was formed to fight for civil rights and defeat Jim Crow laws. Du Bois's co-founders asked him to serve as editor of The Crisis, a publication that will function as the voice of the NAACP. Du Bois used the magazine to write editorials, investigate cases of racial injustice, and shine a spotlight on talented black writers and artists. Going north. Around the same time that the NAACP was founded, black people began leaving the South in large numbers. The Great Migration would last until 1970, with more than 6 million African Americans relocating to New York, Chicago, Detroit, and other big northern cities. They abandoned farms, where many of them worked under sharecropping, an unfair system in which they were forced to turn over a portion of their crops as payment for using the land and equipment. Leaving the fields behind, they headed north in search of jobs in factories. Get to know Ida B. Wells. Among the NAACP's co-founders was Ida B. Wells, born enslaved in Mississippi. Wells attended college in her home state before becoming a school teacher in Memphis. She was once thrown off a train when she refused to ride in the Jim Crow car. Later, she became editor and co-owner of the Memphis Free Speech and Headlight, a local newspaper. Wells used her column to write about racially motivated murders called lynchings. Her writing made local whites so angry that they burned her business to the ground and warned her to stay out of town if she wanted to stay alive. She then moved to Chicago and continued her activism, investigating injustices, publishing pamphlets, and giving lectures. In 1895. She published The Red Record, an examination of lynching that history students still read today. And now we will practice how to say goodbye in Spanish. We will be practicing this all week long. To say goodbye in Spanish, you say adios.